He's
me.
freaking nasty.
All right. Hey, Lug Nuts, what's up, man? Talking to world champion Vaugh Long, world champion ringman, accomplished horseman, just accomplished auctioneer, just a little bit of everything. Vaughn, tell us about where you're from. Where'd you start out at as a child?
Well, we started out in Longmont, Colorado. Then we moved down to North Glen when it was not even really a town. And that's where it all started for me.
So, when you were growing up as a kid, did you ever think you were going to become an auctioneer?
Yes, I always wanted to be an auctioneer when I was a kid. And finally made that dream come true in 1999. I went to Worldwide College of Auctioneering. And ever since then, I've been rolling right along.
So, Vaughn, you started out, and of course we all do. We all start out on the floor. And, you win the world championship. What was that like?
It was awesome. I've been real lucky. I've been surrounded by lots of really great auctioneers that took me underneath their wing and showed me the ropes. So I owe it all to my friends and coworkers that got me where I'm at.
Who inspired you the most to be in the business?
There was a man named Colonel William Bill Hagel. He was from Lee Summit, Missouri. When I was a little kid, he was my dad's friend. Put on big machinery auctions. And that's where I got my first taste of it. And then my dad would always go to the horse sales, and I'd go with him. And I always wanted to be an auctioneer.
So, being a horse auctioneer versus being an automobile auctioneer, two big different worlds.
It is. It is. I love the car auctions. I love the adrenaline that you get rolling. But all in all, an auction is an auction, and I love all of them.
So what does it feel like to be a world champion ringman? When you have people coming up and asking you for advice, hey, I'm getting into the auction business, I'm going to be a ringman. What do you tell them?
I tell them to surround yourself with some really good hands and listen to what they tell you, practice, and your heart's got to be in it or you won't make it, because you got to have thick skin. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy profession by no means. It's a lot of ups and downs. But if your heart's in it, get after it, because you can make it happen.
You mentioned that you went to Worldwide College, a pretty well-known college, man. What was it like to be a graduate of Worldwide?
It was great. I was working a year before I ever went to school there. Then I came out and, it just snowballed. I had one auction a week, then two, then three, then four. At the height of my career, I was working 7 auctions a week.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Me and you traveled a lot, man, doing classic car auctions for Stan Torgerson and stuff. And what a fun business the collector car auction business is.
Had a lot of fun in the collector car business auctions. Worked for, like you said, Stanley and numerous car auctions across the United States, from coast to coast. Even did a little bit of Barrett Jackson. But I had a blast doing the classic car auctions.
So, in the collector car world, everybody knows Barrett Jackson, so they figure that's the flagship of the collector car. What was it like to work at the flagship collector car auction?
It was great. When it all comes down to it, it's just another auction. We work for the seller. We try to get the most money we can for their merchandise. So, but Barrett Jackson's is quite an event. It's just not an auction. It's a huge event that's probably second to none.
A lot of people show up at that place, man, and a lot of, you see more $1 million cars than you do $10,000 cars.
Yes, for sure. A lot of celebrities, a lot of money floating around there.
All right. So, how did COVID affect your business?
COVID didn't help anything for sure. When they said you had to have a shot to get on the airplane, I said, well, no shot for me, so no airplane for me either. So quit a couple sales that way. But you know what? It's life. Ups and downs, just keep rolling. There's plenty of work out there if anybody wants it.
So, the new technology coming out, AI and all that, how do you think that's going to affect the auctioneering business as a whole?
I suppose it's going to have an effect on it. But in my opinion, a live auction with great auctioneers, great ringmen, there's no substitute. That's the best method of marketing any merchandise you have, in my opinion. So you'll never replace that.
So, in all your travels, working with numerous auctioneers, who's the one that most inspired you the most? The one you thought, wow, that man is amazing.
You know, Paul Bear took me under his wing when I left Worldwide. So I owe about everything to Paul. And then Scott Goodhue, Josh White, the list goes on and on and on. I've worked with many, many world champion auctioneers across the United States. But I would say them two were the most influential in my business.
Now, you're an accomplished horseman. What do you do with the horses? What's your...
You know, we have race horses mostly, and I was an avid roper for many years, and I still have that passion too.
Kenny Paradise is watching right now. You got any words of wisdom?
Hello, Kenny Paradise.
He's always on there watching, taking care of us.
He's my buddy, Kenny.
But, let's see here. If a young person wanting to get into the business, and as we all have to start out on the ring, you know, what is your words of advice to somebody that's a young person wanting to get started in the business?
Go shake hands. Go to the auction house. Go to wherever they're having live auctions. Introduce yourself. Tell them you are interested in working for them. Just jump in with both feet. It's there. You might not make top dollar right away, and you might work for free for a while. But it'll be worth your while in the long run.
There ain't one of us in this business that hasn't worked for free to get in that door, to get into that position, you know. I mean, I remember myself, I was working in Amarillo, Texas, and I come up here, and I got on up here at Mannheim, Denver, and man, it was for free for probably 3-4 months or 3 or 4 weeks before I got a paycheck, you know. But I religiously got in my car and I come up here and I had people like Terry Ellison, Ken Holsworth, you know. I had everybody trying to help me get into the business, and you know, it worked out. I mean, it's hard.
It is hard. You have thick skin, but stay after it. And you ask who was influential in my business. Ken Holsworth, also excellent auctioneer, great man. He's always helped me a lot. Terry Ellison, also very, very helpful to me. And there's a whole list of them. I can't remember everybody, but I've had lots of people help me through this.
You know, the first week I went back to Texas when my family was down in Texas, and I come up here. My wife said, "Well, you know, what do you think about what you want to do?" And I said, I know one thing right now. I said, there's a gentleman I met, his name's Ken Holsworth, and I said, I want to model my life after what his life plan is, because he's a good Christian man, he's a great auctioneer, and, you know, I mean, why would you not want to kind of model your life after him? Because he's well respected in the business, man, by the auctioneers, by the dealers, by the general managers. You know, Kenny's top notch, man.
Kenny is. He's the best of the best. And I'm just lucky I work with Kenny 1 day a week now. I used to work with Kenny 3 days a week. But Kenny is the very best of the best and a great man.
So as far as our core group here at Mannheim, Denver, I have to say that I would put our core group up against any core group at any contest there is, man. We have some of the best upcoming auctioneers, and we have some of the best season auctioneers. What do you think?
Oh, that's for sure. Back when we was all competing, Colorado used to go to all them world champion contests, and we'd whip their ass.
We did.
And that's just how it was.
It's exactly right,
and that's
man.
Texas, Chicago, Oklahoma, California, all of them. We're one big family here in Colorado, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Well, we're proud to have you as part of it too, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Vaugh Long, world champion ringman, man. That's awesome, dude. And thank you for taking your time.
Thank you, Jeff.
I know you're a busy man, and we got to get ready to
go to work.
Go to work. It's time to pay the bills.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. Lug Nuts, I'm not going to be around very much the rest of the week. I got family reunion coming up, and so we might be at the Rise and Grind on Sunday. That's off of Singing Hills out there, but it depends on what time my family leaves. Derek's going to take the role and run with it. So I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you listening to this. I hope you enjoyed these interviews and stuff. I'm going to try to get some film of some of the auctioneers today selling cars and let you listen to some chants out there of these true champions that we have working here for us. So if this goes over real big, I want to bring in some general managers to talk about auctioneers and stuff. And we look forward to talking to you guys soon. Got a podcast coming up pretty soon. I'm not going to tell you the name, but it's going to be good. You can see us on Facebook. You can see us on YouTube. We're going to be on Spotify. So there's a lot of things going on. So appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.